Every great transformation begins long before the muscle shows, long before the world applauds, and long before the success becomes visible. For Dwayne Johnson, the gym isn't a place where greatness magically appears. It's where greatness is relentlessly carved out through an almost stubborn commitment to work. His work ethic has never been about proving anything to anyone else. It's about keeping a promise to himself, a promise to never go back to the person he once was, a promise to outwork the fear, the doubt, and the insecurity that used to sit on his shoulders like heavy chains. The iron became his escape, his therapy, and ultimately his path to self-respect. And that's the foundation of his unbreakable training mindset, showing up regardless of circumstances, regardless of mood, and regardless of how heavy life feels outside those gym doors. There's something deeply powerful about waking up before the sun, lacing up your shoes, and walking into a quiet gym that most people haven't even thought about yet. It's in that silence that you hear the truth. You either want it or you don't. And for The Rock, wanting it was never enough. Wanting is easy. Everyone wants to be in shape, everyone wants success, everyone wants confidence. But the difference lies in the willingness to grind before the world wakes up, to sweat, to push, to suffer a bit, and to keep going. That's where his work ethic becomes a blueprint. It's not fueled by motivation alone, but by discipline rooted in purpose. Discipline means showing up when motivation fades, and it will fade. Discipline means doing the reps when nobody is watching, refusing to negotiate with excuses, and honoring your commitment regardless of discomfort. Most people underestimate the power of consistency, but Johnson embodies it. He doesn't train hard only when life is smooth. He trains through exhaustion, through stress, through pressure, and even through doubt. He trains to build something deeper than muscle. He trains to build resilience. When he says blood, sweat, and respect, he's not talking about a catchy slogan. He's talking about currency. Sweat is the down payment, discipline is the investment, and respect is the return you earn from yourself. That respect comes from knowing you didn't quit when quitting would have been easy. From knowing you pushed one more rep when everything inside you screamed to stop. That's where character is built. Inside those small, quiet battles that nobody else witnesses. Many people think strength is about lifting heavy weight, but true strength comes from lifting yourself when your spirit feels heavy. Johnson didn't build his mind overnight. His unbreakable mindset was forged in moments of hardship, moments when life knocked him down, moments of failure, moments of uncertainty. Instead of folding, he made a decision. Every setback would be met with more effort, not less. And in time, those struggles became shadows he used to fuel his ambition. That's a lesson hidden in his story. Your past doesn't disqualify you from greatness, it prepares you for it. Every failure sharpens your grit. Every disappointment strengthens your hunger. Every challenge teaches you how to push harder than you ever thought possible. And in the gym, that mentality shows up in simple habits. Showing up early, staying late, training with intensity, keeping a high standard for himself even when no one is holding him accountable. That level of internal discipline turns ordinary people into extraordinary ones. It separates those who simply dream from those who execute. Johnson has said it over and over. Hard work is the only real advantage you control. You can't control your genetics or your starting point, but you can control your effort. You can decide whether you're going to coast through your workout or attack it like it's the only chance you have to get better. When you approach training with that level of commitment, results stop being accidents and start being inevitabilities. But that doesn't mean the journey becomes easy. There are mornings when he's tired, days when the schedule is overwhelming, nights when the body is sore and the mind is exhausted. Yet he still shows up, and that's the mind shift that changes everything. Success isn't built on perfect days. It's built on the days you drag yourself into the fight anyway. When you master that part, the ability to work when you don't feel like it, you unlock a version of yourself you didn't know existed. That's where confidence comes from. That's where power is born. Not from shortcuts, not from hacks, but from the determination to do the work day after day. Dwayne Johnson's work ethic is a message to anyone who struggles with doubt or hesitation. The path to becoming your strongest self is paved with effort, sacrifice, and persistence. It's not glamorous, and it's not meant to be. The real reward isn't just the physique you build, it's the mindset you earn. Every drop of sweat, every burning muscle, every moment of pushing past your limits is a reminder that you're capable of more than you think. And once you embrace that mentality, the gym becomes more than a place to train. It becomes a place to grow, to rebuild, and to redefine who you are. That's the heart of The Rock's unbreakable mindset. Not just lifting weights, but lifting your life, one disciplined choice at a time. Excuses are the easiest things to create and the hardest things to let go of. Most people live their lives trapped behind reasons they've convinced themselves are valid. Too tired, too busy, too stressed, too overwhelmed. Dwayne Johnson's philosophy breaks through that mental fog with one uncompromising truth: discipline will always outperform excuses. That's why he preaches consistency over talent, because talent without discipline becomes wasted potential, and discipline without excuses becomes unstoppable momentum. What separates those who transform their lives from those who stay stuck is not how gifted they are, but how committed they are to showing up when excuses try to take control. In the gym, excuses show up long before the alarm clock rings. They whisper that you need more sleep, that you can go tomorrow, that one missed workout won't hurt. But discipline responds differently. It recognizes the noise for what it is, resistance, and instead of negotiating with excuses, it overrides them with action. Johnson's success proves that discipline is not about feeling unstoppable every day. It's about refusing to let your feelings decide your future. Feelings fluctuate. They rise and fall with circumstances. But discipline stays steady, like a muscle that grows stronger the more you use it. Every time you silence an excuse, you build that muscle. Every time you choose effort over comfort, you reinforce a mindset that can withstand anything. Consistency is the real engine behind transformation. It's not the intensity of one workout that changes your body or your life. It's the repetition of thousands of them. It's the decision to show up again and again, long after the initial motivation has faded. Dwayne Johnson didn't become one of the most disciplined performers in the world because of one great training session. He became that man because he refused to break his routine, even when his schedule was chaotic, when injuries nagged him, or when pressure mounted from every direction. He built a lifestyle around consistency, a personal standard that excuses weren't allowed to lower. That type of mindset becomes a shield against stagnation. When you commit to consistency, progress becomes inevitable, even if it's slow, even if it's invisible at first. The truth is, excuses feel good in the moment because they give you permission to step away from discomfort. But that comfort comes at a price. Every time you choose an excuse, you reinforce a pattern that makes quitting easier the next time. On the other hand, every time you choose discipline, you reinforce a pattern that makes success more achievable. Johnson often says that the toughest battles are the ones you fight with yourself, the battle between the easy choice and the right choice. Winning that internal war is how champions are made. It's not glamorous, it's not exciting, but it's real, and it's what separates lasting results from temporary effort. Talent is a gift, but discipline is a decision. Many people with incredible potential never reach their goals because they rely too heavily on natural ability and not enough on structured effort. Johnson has seen this firsthand in sports, in acting, and in life. He understands that hard work, done consistently, will beat talent that chooses shortcuts every single time. You don't need to be the strongest, the fastest, or the most naturally gifted person in the gym. You just need to be the one who refuses to quit, the one who refuses to take the easy way out. When you adopt that mentality, you unlock a level of capability that talent alone can never give you. Discipline also builds trust within yourself. When you say you'll wake up early and you do it, you build trust. When you decide to push through a tough workout and finish it, you build trust. That trust becomes confidence, not the loud kind that needs attention, but the quiet kind that knows it can overcome whatever life throws your way. And once you develop that confidence, excuses lose their power over you. They still show up, but they no longer control your decisions. You become the type of person who acts based on commitment, not convenience. Life will never stop throwing challenges, long days, unpredictable responsibilities, emotional stress, physical fatigue. These things make excuses tempting. But Johnson's message is simple. You cannot allow temporary discomfort to derail your long-term vision. Whether you want to build, muscle, get stronger, improve your mindset, or transform your life, the formula is the same. Show up consistently and let discipline lead the way. Excuses don't build strength. Excuses don't build resilience. Excuses don't build greatness. Discipline does. And discipline isn't about perfection. It's about resilience. You may stumble. You may miss a day. You may have setbacks. But discipline pushes you back into the gym, back into the fight, back into the pursuit. That's how momentum is built, by refusing to let setbacks become patterns. Johnson's drive shows that discipline is a lifestyle, not a mood. It's something you live, not something you occasionally tap into when you feel inspired. In the end, choosing discipline over excuses is choosing your future over your comfort. It's choosing progress over stagnation. It's choosing to become the strongest version of yourself rather than the version that listens to fear. And once you commit to that path, everything begins to change. Your body changes, your habits change, your confidence changes, your entire life shifts. Because consistency doesn't just change how you train, it changes who you become. Pain is something most people run from, but for Dwayne Johnson, pain has always been a powerful teacher, one that shaped not just his body, but his identity. Pain is uncomfortable, yes, but it also reveals truth. It shows you who you are when everything feels heavy, when your body is tired, when your mind is screaming for relief. Turning pain into power isn't about pretending discomfort doesn't exist. It's about using that discomfort as fuel. It's about understanding that struggle is not a setback, but a stepping stone, that every tough moment contains a lesson capable of pushing you further than you ever thought possible. Johnson learned early that if you avoid pain, you avoid growth. And in the gym, that belief takes physical form. Every rep, every burn, every moment where giving up feels easier is a chance to transform weakness into strength. Struggle is universal. Everyone experiences it, whether it comes from life circumstances, emotional battles, financial hardship, or personal loss. What separates the ones who rise from the ones who fold is not the presence of struggle, but how they respond to it. For Johnson, struggle became a catalyst. He didn't let the pain of early failures define him. He let it refine him. When he had nothing, when life forced him to start over more than once, the pain became a reminder that he had a choice: stay down or stand up stronger. Most people underestimate their ability to endure. They think pain is the end, when in reality, it's the beginning of a new level of resilience. The pain of struggle builds the mental toughness necessary for success because it strips you of excuses, forces you to confront your limits, and teaches you that you can push far past them. Inside the gym, this philosophy becomes clear. When the weights feel heavy, when your muscles burn, when fatigue floods your body, that is the moment where transformation happens. Not when it's easy, not when energy is high. It happens when you want to stop but choose to continue. Pain becomes a signal, not of weakness but of progress. Johnson often talks about embracing the hard work and the grind because he understands that comfort never created greatness. The gym is the perfect place to practice turning pain into power because every session gives you the opportunity to face discomfort and overcome it. This act of pushing through creates confidence, not the superficial kind, but the deep-rooted belief that you can endure whatever life throws your way. Pain changes you, not by breaking you, but by shaping you into someone unshakable. When you push through discomfort, you build something far more powerful than muscle. You build resilience. You build grit. You build a mindset that refuses to quit. Johnson embodies this. He's gone through injuries, career failures, personal setbacks, and physical challenges, yet he uses each one as fuel. The pain doesn't stop him, it sharpens him. That's the mindset that allows someone to push past limits that once felt impossible. When you begin to see pain as an ally rather than an enemy, you unlock a new level of personal power. The truth is, people often misunderstand struggle. They think it's a sign they're on the wrong path, when in reality, it's usually proof they're on the right one. Progress demands struggle. Growth demands discomfort. The body gets stronger through stress. Muscle fibers tear so they can rebuild thicker, tougher, more capable. The mind works the same way. When you challenge your beliefs, confront your fears, and push through obstacles, your mindset becomes more resilient. Pain teaches patience. It teaches discipline. It teaches you how to stay focused when circumstances try to distract you. Instead of running from struggle, Johnson leans into it, knowing that it's shaping him into someone greater. There's a powerful shift that happens when you stop viewing pain as punishment and start viewing it as preparation. Every time you push through something difficult, you're preparing yourself for the next challenge, the next level, the next opportunity. This is why so many people admire The Rock's mentality. He doesn't wait for life to get easier, he gets stronger. The gym becomes a metaphor for life. The reps you struggle through today prepare you for the battles you'll face tomorrow. The discipline you build in training becomes discipline you carry into your career, your relationships, your goals. And turning pain into power isn't just about physical struggle. Emotional pain can be just as transformative. Johnson has openly shared that his hardest moments were not in the gym but in life, times when he felt lost, unsure, or defeated. Instead of hiding from those moments, he used them as motivation. That emotional fire fueled his ambition, his hunger to improve, his desire to become someone he could be proud of. Your pain can serve the same purpose. The things that broke you can become the things that build you if you choose to face them instead of avoiding them. The most important part of this mindset is the understanding that pain doesn't last, but the strength you gain from overcoming it does. Pain is temporary. Growth is permanent. Every time you push past discomfort, you expand your limits. You become someone who no longer fears challenges but welcomes them. Johnson didn't become powerful because he avoided pain. He became powerful because he mastered it. He turned every struggle, every failure, every setback into a stepping stone. And that is the core of his philosophy. Your pain can either chain you down or lift you up. The choice is yours. Improvement is not something that happens once in a while. It happens in the small decisions you make every single day. For Dwayne Johnson, the idea of Outwork Yesterday isn't about competing with anyone else. It's about competing with the version of yourself that existed 24 hours ago. That mindset creates unstoppable growth because it shifts your focus from perfection to progress, from comparison to self-mastery. Every day becomes an opportunity to improve, even if it's just by 1%. That improvement compounds over weeks, months, and years, eventually turning you into someone unrecognizable from who you once were. Johnson embodies this philosophy in the gym and in life, constantly pushing himself to raise his own standard, not someone else's. When people think about progress, they often imagine big leaps, dramatic transformations, or instant results. But that's not how real change works. Real change comes through consistency, patience, and the willingness to show up regardless of circumstances. Outworking yesterday means focusing not on huge breakthroughs, but on steady, incremental progress. Did you lift one more rep today? Did you increase the weight slightly? Did you train with more focus, more intensity, or more discipline? Those small wins may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they build a foundation of confidence and capability that can carry you through any challenge. Johnson believes that every workout is a chance to get better, not by beating anyone, but by outperforming your own previous effort. In the gym, this mindset becomes especially powerful. The weights don't care who you were yesterday. They don't care if you were tired, stressed, or overwhelmed. All they respond to is effort. And every time Johnson sets foot in the gym, he views the session as a battle not against other athletes or other actors or other people in the world, but against his own limitations. That mentality forces you to push harder, focus deeper, and work smarter. When you are committed to outworking yesterday, you approach each day with purpose. You stop going through the motions and start training with intention. That intentionality becomes the difference between stagnation and transformation. Life is full of distractions, responsibilities, stress, setbacks, overdue tasks, emotional ups and downs. These challenges make it easy to slip into old habits or fall behind on your goals. But the Outwork Yesterday philosophy eliminates excuses by reminding you that the only standard that matters is your own. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. It matters what you're doing. It matters whether you're willing to give a little more today than you gave before. That kind of mindset builds consistency because it teaches you to focus on the process rather than obsess over the results. When you fall in love with the daily grind, the results eventually take care of themselves. The beauty of this approach is that it applies far beyond the gym. Whether you're building a career, improving your relationships, developing your discipline, healing emotionally, or working toward long-term goals, the principle remains the same. Take one step forward each day. Johnson didn't become successful because he made massive leaps all at once. He built his empire brick by brick, audition by audition, workout by workout, decision by decision. Success didn't show up suddenly. It accumulated gradually. And that's something most people overlook. They want the result without respecting the process. But the process is where character is formed. The process is where discipline is forged. The process is where you learn to trust yourself because you witness your consistency firsthand. Outworking yesterday also means learning how to push beyond your comfort zone. Comfort is the silent killer of ambition. It makes you settle, stagnate, and stop striving for more. Johnson's philosophy teaches you to constantly challenge your limits. Add a little more weight, run an extra minute, do one more set, wake up a little earlier, or focus a little harder. Those small challenges build mental strength. They teach you that you can handle more than you think, that your limits are often self-imposed, and that growth lives on the other side of discomfort. Every day you push past what once felt difficult, you expand your capacity. You become stronger, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. There's also a deeper element to this mindset, self-respect. When you dedicate yourself to outworking yesterday, you prove to yourself that you are capable of showing up consistently, capable of pushing through resistance, and capable of evolving. That's where real confidence comes from. Not from compliments, achievements, or external validation, but from knowing that you have the discipline to keep improving, even when nobody sees your effort. Johnson often says that success starts with accountability, and accountability starts with truth. You must be honest with yourself about whether you're growing or stagnating, improving or coasting, striving or settling. Ultimately, the outwork yesterday mentality is a lifelong commitment. It's not something you do for a week or a month. It's a mindset you adopt permanently, one that turns you into a person who is constantly evolving, constantly improving, constantly moving forward. That doesn't mean every day will be perfect. There will be tough days, busy days, tired days, and days where progress feels impossible. But even then, you can still make one small improvement, take one small step, and honor the promise you made to yourself. That promise becomes the anchor that keeps you moving forward no matter what. When you choose to outwork yesterday, you choose growth over stagnation, discipline over comfort, and progress over excuses. And with time, those choices transform you. They turn effort into results, consistency into mastery, and small daily victories into a legacy of strength. That's the heart of Dwayne Johnson's approach. Become better today than you were yesterday, and repeat that process for the rest of your life, staying hungry when you've already achieved. Success is one of the hardest challenges anyone can face. Yet it's exactly what separates true champions from everyone else. For Dwayne Johnson, reaching the top was never the finish line. It was simply another starting point. The champion's mindset isn't about achieving one big goal and celebrating forever. It's about constantly raising the bar, continuously evolving, and refusing to get comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of growth, and Johnson understands that the moment you stop pushing yourself is the moment you start losing your edge. That's why he stays hungry, because hunger keeps you sharp, driven, and aligned with a bigger purpose. A lot of people believe that once they reach a certain level of success, the work becomes easier. But in reality, the work becomes more demanding. The expectations rise, the responsibilities multiply, and the pressure intensifies. That's why many people fall off after a big win. They don't prepare mentally for the weight that comes with success. Johnson avoids that trap by thinking like a beginner even when he's an expert. He approaches his goals with humility and a willingness to learn, always looking for ways to improve, to refine, to evolve. That humility keeps him grounded, while his hunger pushes him forward. When you combine humility with ambition, you create a mindset that can withstand any level of success. The champion's mindset also requires an unshakable level of discipline. Success can make people soft because it brings comfort, recognition, and validation. But discipline prevents comfort from becoming a trap. Johnson continues to wake up early, continues to train intensely, continues to follow the routines that got him to where he is. He doesn't abandon the habits that built his success just because he's already successful. That's what many people misunderstand. They think the habits are only needed until they make it. But champions know the habits are needed even more once they've made it. You don't stop working hard when you reach the top. You work even harder to stay there. Staying hungry also means staying focused on the bigger picture. Success can come with distractions. People will praise you, flatter you, and tell you that you've done enough. That noise can cloud your judgment if you let it. Johnson avoids this by staying laser-focused on his purpose. He knows why he wakes up early, why he trains harder than most, and why he continues pushing despite already having fame, money, and achievements. He's driven by something deeper: legacy, impact, the desire to inspire others through his actions, his discipline, and his journey. When your purpose is bigger than your ego, you stay hungry because you realize you still have more to give. Another aspect of the champion's mindset is emotional resilience. Success doesn't eliminate challenges. It introduces new ones, more criticism, more pressure, more eyes watching your every move. Instead of letting that overwhelm him, Johnson embraces it as part of the journey. Being at the top means being judged, being challenged, being underestimated. But champions don't crumble under pressure. They thrive in it. They use that pressure as motivation to improve, to sharpen their skills, and to continue proving to themselves that they deserve everything they've earned. Hunger isn't just physical. It's mental and emotional. It's the fire that keeps burning even when everything looks good on the outside. And then there's the importance of gratitude. Hunger without gratitude becomes arrogance, but gratitude without hunger becomes complacency. Johnson balances both. He's grateful for his journey, his opportunities, and his success. But he never lets gratitude turn into comfort. He appreciates where he is while staying committed to where he wants to go. That combination creates a powerful internal balance. Grounded yet ambitious, humble yet hungry. When you operate with that balance, success doesn't change who you are, it enhances who you are. Staying hungry also means competing, primarily with yourself. Johnson doesn't chase other people's accomplishments, he chases his own potential. He asks himself, can I be better? Can I lift heavier? Can I perform stronger? Can I push further? That self-competition keeps him evolving. It eliminates jealousy, reduces comparison, and places the responsibility for growth solely in his hands. When you become your own competition, you become limitless, because the only person you're trying to outperform is the version of you from yesterday. Most importantly, the champion's mindset is built through repetition. It's not something you tap into occasionally, it's something you reinforce daily. The choices you make, the habits you keep, the discipline you follow, all of these shape your hunger. Johnson's consistency is what fuels his fire. He chooses to stay hungry every day, even when he could easily relax. That's what makes him unstoppable. Hunger doesn't come from inspiration, it comes from commitment. In the end, staying hungry means refusing to settle. It means recognizing that greatness is not a destination but a lifelong pursuit. Johnson's journey is proof that success doesn't end your grind, it elevates it. Champions don't stop striving because they've achieved something. They keep striving because they know they're capable of even more. And when you adopt that mindset, you stop living in the shadow of your past accomplishments and start building a future that's even bigger, stronger, and more powerful. Strength doesn't start in the body, it starts in the mind. Every rep, every workout, every early morning and late night training session begins long before you touch a weight. It begins with a decision, a mindset, a belief that you are capable of pushing beyond what feels comfortable. For Dwayne Johnson, the gym has always been more than a place to build muscle. It's a battlefield where mental toughness is forged. Winning in the gym is not about how much weight you lift, but about how well you overcome the mental resistance that tries to stop you. Mind over muscle means understanding that the body follows the mind, and if your mind is strong, your performance becomes unstoppable. Most people don't fail because their bodies give out. They fail because their minds quit first. The mind will tell you you're tired when you still have energy. It will convince you something is too heavy when your body is fully capable of lifting it. It will try to protect you from discomfort, even when discomfort is exactly what you need to grow. Johnson understands this deeply, which is why he enters every workout with focus, intention, and mental clarity. He prepares his mind before he trains his body. That preparation includes discipline, reminding himself why he's there, what he's working toward, and what kind of person he wants to become. This is the mental anchor that keeps him going even on days when motivation is low. Mental strength is built the same way physical strength is, through repeated effort. Every time you push yourself past the moment where your mind tells you to stop, you're training your mental endurance. You're teaching yourself that you're capable of more, that your limits are farther than you think. Johnson consistently talks about the importance of showing up no matter how you feel, because showing up trains your mind to value discipline over emotion. Some days you'll be tired, some days you'll be stressed, distracted, or unmotivated. But when you push yourself, train anyway, you're reinforcing your ability to stay committed in all areas of your life. That's why the gym becomes a mental boot camp. It forces you to confront your weaknesses, your doubts, and your excuses. Winning the mental battle also requires controlling your focus. The gym is full of distractions, noise, fatigue, self-doubt, comparison, but champions learn how to silence everything except the task in front of them. Johnson has mastered the ability to dial in, to be fully present during his workouts, to eliminate everything except the next rep. This level of focus builds discipline and intensity. When you train your mind to concentrate deeply, your performance improves naturally. You lift with purpose, move with intention, and push with determination. Focus is a type of mental strength that spills into every aspect of your life: work, relationships, goals, and challenges. When you can control your attention, you can control your results. Mind over muscle also means embracing discomfort. Growth never happens inside comfort zones. If the weight never feels heavy, you're not getting stronger. If the workout never challenges you, you're not improving. Johnson thrives in discomfort because he understands that discomfort is the gateway to transformation. When your mind learns to accept the burn, the sweat, the pressure, and the fatigue, your body follows. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who remain average is their relationship with discomfort. Average people avoid it. Champions chase it. They see discomfort as a signal that they are on the right path, that they're pushing their boundaries, that they're evolving. Another important part of mental strength is resilience. Things won't always go perfectly. You'll have days when you feel weak, days when progress is slow, days when you doubt yourself. Johnson has faced injuries, failures, and setbacks, but he always returns stronger because he refuses to let temporary obstacles define him. Mental resilience means understanding that failure isn't final unless you stop trying. It means embracing setbacks as lessons rather than excuses. When you develop resilience, you stop fearing challenges. You trust your ability to overcome them, and that trust becomes a powerful form of confidence. Jim teaches you that the battle is always internal. You're not competing with the person next to you. You're competing with your own doubts. You're fighting the voice inside that says you can rest, this is enough, or you don't need to push harder today. Winning the mental battle is learning to recognize that voice and choose discipline instead. Johnson's success comes from consistently choosing mental strength over temporary comfort. He understands that the people who achieve greatness are not the ones who never feel doubt or fear, they're the ones who act despite it. Ultimately, mind over muscle is about building a mindset that supports growth, effort, and resilience. It's about telling yourself the truth, that you are capable, that you are strong, that you can push further, that you can endure more than you think. When your mind believes it, your body will follow. This is why Johnson prioritizes mental toughness just as much as physical training. He knows that muscles can only grow when the mind commands them to push harder, lift more, and go beyond the limits of yesterday. In the end, the battle you fight in the gym mirrors the battle you fight in life. Challenges come, obstacles appear, doubt creeps in. But when you've trained your mind to be stronger than your excuses, nothing can stop you. Mastering mind over muscle doesn't just change your workouts. It transforms who you are. It builds character, resilience, discipline, confidence, and inner power. And once you learn how to win the mental battle, you unlock a version of yourself capable of achieving anything.